What's up guys, my name is Ace and welcome to today's episode of Spawn Guides. In this series, I cover all of the important spawns and how they behave in every map in Call of Duty Ghosts. This series is centered around Domination, but there will be a little bit of overlap with other respawn game modes as well. In this episode, as requested by you guys in the comments of the previous episode, we're going to be covering the map Whiteout. If you missed the prelude to this series, I highly recommend you go and watch that first because it explains the general spawn behavior in Domination, and you really need that knowledge to be able to understand exactly what I'm talking about with this series. I'll give you guys an annotation link to that video right here, as well as a link in the description. Alright, so let's start it off by mapping out the most common spawn points for each flag on this map. For A, we have quite a few spawns, and they're pretty straightforward, but the most common one is the back A spawn, the back center A spawn, and then there's also one that's right by the docks, and that is the second most common spawn for the A flag. Moving on to B, there are actually only 2 spawns attached to it, and they're actually quite far away from the flag. The spawn by the helicopter behind the big sinking ship is probably the most common cause for spawn complaints on this map. It seems like it should be attached to the C flag, but that is definitely not the case. From the extensive research that I did, the only way you'll spawn there is if you hold the B flag. So sometimes a situation arises where the enemy team holds A and B, and I'll be pushing towards the B flag from the ship side of the map from C, only to be shot in the back by an enemy that's just spawned by that helicopter. It's a very strange spawn, but just keep it in mind, and keep in mind that the enemy has the potential to spawn there if they hold the B flag. It's not likely they'll spawn there if they hold A or C as well as B, but it still can happen. So finally for C, just like A, there are quite a few spawns, and they're all pretty straightforward. The one big lesson to learn from these C spawns is that they are basically separated between back spawns and front spawns. So if you hold C and you have players that are hanging back, the spawns are likely to anchor towards the back 3 spawns, which isn't ideal because you lose map control. So if you can avoid it, try to have your entire team pushed up on the map so you can secure the front C spawns rather than the back ones. These front spawns make it so the C flag is the most advantageous flag to hold alongside B, as long as your entire team is pushed up, and that makes it really easy to spawn trap people at the A flag because even if you die, you'll just keep spawning mid-map, and you'll be back in the action in no time. Okay, so those are the most common spawn points on this map, but before we get into the spawn tests, I'm going to walk you guys through a few in-game situations that illustrate how the spawns behave on this map. For this first situation, right now my team holds C and A, and we're pushing for B right now, but the enemy team holds B. So where are they going to spawn? This is where that really weird spawn comes in right now, because you know the B flag has 2 spawns that they can potentially spawn at, but my teammates are blocking the one spawn by the cabin. So they're definitely going to spawn by the helicopter behind the sinking ship. And just to clearly show that for you guys, as you can see, there's a couple guys coming off the ship right now from that spawn, and then I run into another guy right here as well. And then immediately after that, we're also losing C. So that means pretty much their entire team spawned back there, and half of them pushed to C, and the other half pushed out of the ship. For the second analysis, as you can see, I'm pushing up for map control around A, and these kills right here have nothing to do with the spawns. I'm just getting some kills and trying to gain that map control and get them into an A spawn trap. So at this point, we're going to pause it, and as you can see on the minimap, I have a teammate that's pushed towards the dock side of the map, and I'm assuming he's effectively blocking off the dock spawns, which are the more common spawns for A. So where are the enemies going to spawn? I'm guessing they're going to spawn right to my right, behind the rock there, and kind of in that little gully area as well. So as you can see, I pick off 2 kills right here just as these guys come out of spawn, and 2 more guys actually push right up onto the ridge and I missed them, but my teammate managed to clean them up. So now I'm going to push into here, and I'm going to have a quick look to see if anybody's coming off of spawn from the back center A spawn, and I see that nobody has done that, so that means they must be spawning on the dock side of the map because as you can see, my teammate is no longer over there. So I rotate back, and there you go. Once again, I get 2 easy kills off of people that just came off of spawn. Alright, so now it's time to test your knowledge of the spawns on this map. For the first test, as you can see, the green team holds C and B, and the red team holds A. Now most of the green players are bunched up towards the B flag, and the A players are a little bit more spread out, and one of them's even pushed up onto the ship area. Where would a green guy spawn right now? I'll give you guys a few seconds to make a decision. Okay, time's up. And if you guys chose this spawn right here, you are likely correct. but I wouldn't completely rule out this spawn by the cabin either. So let's go over why that is. We're going to first rule out any spawn that is not anchored by a teammate. That leaves us with 3 potential spawn points, but now we have to rule out any spawn that is blocked by a direct line of sight from an enemy, and as you can see, that spawn right there is blocked by the guy in the ship. So that leaves us with 2 potential options, and one of them is right by the cabin, and that's technically a B spawn, and the other one is the front middle C spawn. Okay, so let's move on to the second test, and in this case, the green team holds B and A, and the red team holds C. Based on the positioning of all of the players on the map, where would a red player spawn right now? I'll give you guys a little bit of time, just like the last one. If you chose one of these 2 back C spawns here, you are correct. Let's go over why. This time we're first going to block off any spawn where a green player has a direct line of sight on, and they're essentially blocking those spawns. As you can see, that still leaves us with 4 potential C spawns, but if you notice, most of the players are pushed a little bit more towards the ship side of the map, so they're not likely to be anchored towards the top spawns in the logging area. The only 2 other spawns that are left over are the back 2 C spawns, so the game is going to choose one or the other. So that's all I have for this episode of Spawn Guides. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a comment letting me know which map you'd like to see me cover next. The map that I see most people commenting for will be the one that I cover in the next episode. If you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate a like, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.